Hello and welcome. In today's video, I will share with you the list of the 8 most haunted places in South Africa and a brief history of each. At the end of this video, I would like you to tell me in the comment section which one of these haunted places captivated you the most. But before we get into that video, if you are a fan of strange, creepy, weird and mysterious stories, you have come to the right place. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button and also remember to turn on the bell notification so you can get notified anytime I upload a new video. Now let's get into today's video. Number 1 is the Africana Library Kimberley, opened in July 1887 as a public library, and the library was the institution which initiated the collection of rare books and Africana. The library moved to a new premises in 1984 and was refurbished. In 1986, it opened its doors to the public as an exclusively Africana research library. The library is said to be haunted by the restless spirit of the first librarian, Bertrand Dyer. He met his end drinking arsenic after he was found doctoring the accounts. Many visitors seen books inexplicably crashing to the floor and heard teacups tinkling at 4 p.m. Some have claimed to see him in his Victorian clothing. It is said that if you ask him for a specific book, the book will fall off the shelf. Number 2 is the Tokai Forest, Cape Town. Deep in the forest lies the well-known Tokai Manor. The house was completed in 1796 and was owned by Hendrik Oswald Erskine in the early 1800s. Hendrik was known to be an exuberant and indulgent man. It is said that Hendrik and his son loved throwing parties, the greatest being the one on New Year's Eve. Wine was flowing freely and guests were everywhere. Before long, the party got out of hand. Hendrik's son Petrus was bragging about what a fine rider he was, and someone urged him to prove it. A wager was set, and Petrus was forced to ride his horse up the steep steps, onto the porch and into the dining room. Petrus succeeded without difficulty, and when he began to celebrate, the horse got spooked. He ran up the steep steps. It is then that the horse and Petrus plunged to their deaths. It is said that on New Year's Eve, the forest becomes a terrifying place as laughter and other people's horses can be heard. Some have even claimed to have heard the galloping of a horse, a high-pitched whinny before the air falls silent. Number 3 is the Nottingham Road Hotel, KwaZulu-Natal. Story goes that a beautiful ghost woman named Charlotte used to live in a hotel. It was her home. It is said that Charlotte reveals herself to only a special few people. She was a prostitute in the 1800s, and the hotel was a popular stop for British soldiers. Charlotte fell in love with one soldier in particular. There are a few stories to how she met her end, the first being that her lover was killed in battle and she was so heartbroken that she threw herself over the balcony and died of her injuries. Another version says Charlotte was entertaining a client who refused to pay. A vicious fight ensued and she was beaten and flung over the balcony and died. A Nottingham Road Hotel, built in 1854, is situated near the railway line, which was very handy in those days as soldiers poured off the train for liquor and women. It was a gathering place to get messages, supplies and posts. Charlotte would have waited on the balcony for a sighting of her lover as the steam train rolled in. Possibly a friend of his brought her the news of his death. Perhaps, unable to contemplate a life without love, she took the plunge off the balcony. Most activity happens in room number 10. Visitors have reported bags being unpacked, flowers getting rearranged, taps turning on and off, pictures will be taken down from the walls and so on. Some spirituals and children have been said to have spoken to the nice lady. Number 4 is the Castle of Good Hope, Cape Town. Built in the 17th century as a staff fort in Cape Town, South Africa. The Castle of Good Hope is located on the coastline of Table Bay. It was restored in the 1980s and is considered the best preserved example of a Dutch East India Company fort. Blood-curdling screams, strange voices and footsteps still terrify soldiers on guard during the late nights, also known as ghost shift at the Castle of Good Hope. The explanation, they are convinced, lies in the bloody history of the castle and the restless spirits of those who were tortured there centuries ago. To this day, soldiers who guard the castle would rather walk all the way around the outside of the building than pass through the haunted archways in the wee hours of the morning. There is a long list of ghosts at this castle. starting with a soldier that hung himself on the bell tower, a sad-faced woman in a ball gown set to walk through the castle and in the ballroom. One night, a guard heard someone screaming for help and voices coming from the dungeon and torture chamber. When he went to investigate, there was no one there, but he felt a presence. His body became ice cold and the hair stood up on his arms and at the back of his neck. Some guards refused to go past the black hole, a torture chamber that had no windows because they can feel a spirit of vacuum sucking them in. They also refused to walk on the cobblestone because of the footsteps you hear and walk around the castle to get where they need to be. People who have been to the castle say that they can feel a presence. Number 5 is the Kempton's Haunted Hospital, Johannesburg, probably the scariest of the list. Well, for me at least, is the Kempton Park Hospital, Johannesburg. Being one of the most mysterious buildings on the list, this hospital gives me the creeps. It closed down in 1997. Within a day, all the doctors, nurses, patients, and other staff left the premises. Although it has been empty for years, people who visited the hospital say that it still smells the way it did when it was open. There is still no explanation why they closed down the multi-million-rand facility, leaving equipment, beds, and patient files. The hospital is now almost empty with broken windows, overgrown gardens. Security guards will take you through the hospital for a fee, but that is one trip I'm not ready to take just yet. Number 6 is the Uniondale Hitchhiker. Although this isn't a haunted building, the Phantom Hitchhiker of Uniondale is one of the most well-known stories in South Africa. It is said that she can be seen between Uniondale and Willowmore in a semi-desert area. The story goes that the Phantom Hitchhiker's name is Maria. In April 1968, there was a car accident on Willowmore just past Uniondale. According to stories, the car, a Volkswagen Beetle, was occupied by a young off-duty Air Force lieutenant and his fiancée who was asleep on the back seat. He lost control of the vehicle during a storm and unfortunately his girlfriend died. Stories have been told by drivers about stopping to pick up a girl next to the side of the road on their way to Uniondale. She would accept a ride but would disappear after a few kilometers. Number 7, the Old Gaol, Grahamstown. The Old Gaol started laying its foundation in 1823 and was completed in 1824. The purpose of the Old Gaol was to replace the Yellow House, which was too small to hold a number of prisoners. In 1824, extensions were made to the front of the gaol and was used as a hospital for the poor. Public executions were often held here. The last one was held in 1862. After they moved the executions inside and hoisted the black flag when an execution had taken place on that day, the gaol was used as a prison until 1976. Today, it is used as a Black Packers tourism site. Legend goes that the last man to be publicly hanged, Henry Nichols, was convicted of rape, an offense that did not actually carry the death sentence. Because of the way he died, his spirit could not be freed and is condemned to forever walk the dead man's walk between the Old Gaol and the gallows, passing right from the entrance to the modern university. Number 8 is the Lord Magna Hotel, Majesfontein in the Klein Karoo. Completed in 1899, it was named after Lord Alfred Magna, who was the governor of the Cape during the Anglo-Boer War. Shortly after being completed, it was used as the headquarters of the Cape Western Command. Majesfontein is said to be the most haunted town in South Africa. A blog written about the town states that there are no malevolent ghosts there. The ghosts of Majesfontein are said to be both playful and even mischievous, or they are totally unconcerned with events around them. The most famous of all the ghosts is the Lady in White. Legend goes that a lady in a long white dress walks about in the garden. Although she prefers the late night strolls, it has been said that she has been known to rattle and open doors as well. I hope you enjoyed a bit of our South African history and horror stories. If you are a skeptic, feel free to visit any of these places. But I have come to the end of today's video. If you watched till the end, thank you, and if you enjoyed it, do well to like and subscribe for more stories. See you in another video.